what's the connection between this 737 and this pond scum? It all starts with our love affair with vehicles. They all need fuel, and gas is going to run out. Or is it? A dirt trail in California. An easy ride for the world's latest endurance motorbike. Like any off-road machine, it's fast, it's tough, and a ton of fun. But this bike is like no other. And neither is its rider, marine biologist Christian Gustafsson.
So my main interest is taking technology from the lab literally to the street. This bike is one of the most efficient and versatile motorcycles on the planet.
And one of the most amazing. That's because its 800cc engine gets its kicks from this crazy-looking stuff. It's algae, a simple photosynthetic organism that happens to be a biofuel, bulging with horsepower. Nathan Shep from the University of California in San Diego is on a mission to get it into all our fuel tanks.
Its energy density is very close to diesel. It burns actually a lot cleaner. The exhaust coming out the other end is much cleaner. All these things are part of the reason we want to move to a sustainable fuel like algae biodiesel.
You can extract fuel from all kinds of plants, but nothing comes close to algae. It's 30 times more efficient than its nearest rival. It can be nurtured from the tiniest cell in the purest conditions, and then grown and grown and grown.
So they start right here, and this is sort of the lawn of algae, and then what we can do is we'll pick a single colony once these grow up a little, and we'll put them into a 50 ml flask right here. And they grow like this for about, anywhere from 5 to 10 days in here. And then you have to basically scale it up to maybe a 1 or 2 liter culture, and that's enough to take outside, and that's really where we produce the most.
Mostly aquatic, like seaweed, algae grows by capturing sunlight and turning it into sugar, a perfect energy source. But best of all, it grows pretty much anywhere.
We can grow algae biomass using salt water, wastewater from sewage treatment plants or other things. They don't require traditional fertile land like farm space. We can grow it in the desert using salt water and taking CO2 from power plants.
It's this grow anywhere ability that scientists are getting excited about. The big disadvantage of existing biofuel crops like corn, palm, and soya is that they use up land we need to grow food, and they consume way more resources. But the algae in these ponds is not quite ready to put in your tank yet.
We harvest, we centrifuge the algae, and then we put the algae on the drying table here. And it ends up, as you can see, just pellets like this. And in these pellets are the oil.
Finally, using a heated press, the oil is squeezed out of the pellets.
The end product really is almost identical to what petroleum diesel is. There's no difference in the final product.
And nothing is wasted. All this stuff becomes good animal and fish food, apparently. Nice. But does it work as well as traditional fuels?
The performance of the bike isn't hampered at all using algae fuel. We haven't made any modifications to the motor. It's a drop-in fuel, so what we create, the bike burns, my truck burns, it'll run on.
But there is a catch. For the time being, at least, Nathan and his team can only produce small quantities.
This amount of biomass would probably come from about 2 or 3 of our ponds. So we're talking upwards, 1,500 to 2,000 liters of culture, which is it's a lot of water, it's a lot of nutrients, but that's part of the process we're trying to optimize right now.
If they can make it more efficiently, the sky's the limit, literally. In 2009, this Boeing 737 flew for 90 minutes. With its tanks, full of the stuff.
So the reason we aren't currently using algae fuel, the reason why everyone's not filling up with biodiesel at the pump is because it's only being developed for 10, 15 years. We just need to figure out how to produce enough, and there just hasn't been time to develop that technology. But that's what we're working on here.
We burn 1.35 trillion gallons of fuel globally each year. But the equivalent amount of algae biofuel could be grown in an area the size of Montana. Bad news for the oil giants, maybe. Good news for the likes of Christian. Not that he's that bothered. Look at him.